Now, let's welcome, please join me to welcome Mr. Jiten Motwani, ladies and gentlemen, Director BD SOC from Eventus. Join me to welcome Mr. Jiten Motwani, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a big one. Put your hands together. For a special presentation, and I repeat once again, Eventus is our presenting partner. So it has to be a little more energetic because they are one of the reasons why this conference is happening. Let's give it a big round of applause for Team Eventus.
Forward back. Okay, perfect. Actually, too much of light. I think, yeah. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time out. I appreciate that all of you have taken the time out today to be here and listen to all the people participating in the event. Just to give an introduction, as the lady mentioned, my name is Jiten Motwani. I am responsible for the SOC business at Eventus, and it's my responsibility to ensure that our customers get a good night's sleep while they trust us that we are working in the background. So let's begin. Start working. Okay. Well, since we are all here for cybersecurity, we are all here to understand more about where the world is heading to. Let me elaborate a little bit on the concept as a whole. Cybersecurity today is no more a reactive approach, right? We cannot expect that today's enterprise will work or react today on yesterday's attacks, right? We need to be more proactive. We need to be more resilient to something that is coming our way. Now, how do you do that? You have to be more proactive in terms of ensuring that you're prepared for a particular day when an attack happens, what measures you're taking care of well in advance. So if I may put it, instead of a reactive approach, you have to ensure and be prepared of how do you go through the process, how well you are prepared for an attack, and how well do you recover after an attack happens, right? That's what cybersecurity is today, right? Apart from that, cybersecurity is not a one-man show anymore, right? Cybersecurity is something where organizations are looking at a broader perspective to enhance their intelligence. Many cases where organizations today are looking for somebody who can be the guiding light to ensure that they are cyber resilient. Cybersecurity is no more an IT department sitting in a silo. It's a business discussion, right? Today, there are companies where cybersecurity discussion is happening in the boardroom. It's a part of a discussion day in and day out, where it's something which is responsible for the brand's value in the market, the trust the brand has. Company stocks can go up and down if there is an attack. Brand equity is at stake. Primarily, there is an individual called CISO whose primary responsibility earlier was to react and rush to an incident if an incident occurs, right? This is a bygone day strategy. Today, a CISO has to be a part of the leadership team where he's more of a resilient leader. A CISO, as you can see on the screen, more than 83% of the CISOs today report to the CEO or the board, right? So they are responsible to ensure that the board gets up-to-date information as to how secure an organization is. If I may put it in figures, the average cost in India for a cyber attack is roughly about 18 crores, right? That's a huge number. The question is, are you ready to spend money today, or you're prepared to go through an experience of 18 CR when an attack happens? We all have to think about it, right? Cybersecurity is nothing local anymore. It's a global landscape that all of us are tackling here today, right? I'm sure all of you in the room are aware that somebody sitting in Russia or Ukraine can attack somebody sitting in India, right? It's no more an attack happening locally, right? You will see that cyber attacks are getting very much sophisticated day in and day out. We are looking at AI-enabled cyber attacks. There are AI-enabled, I would say, phishing attacks that are happening. You must have heard about stories where a CEO calls the CFO and tells him, hey, you know what, I'm in urgent need of maybe $10 million, please transfer the money. How is this happening? This is happening because AI is enabling the phishing attacks, I would say as the terminology says, deepfakes, right? There are deepfakes. People come on a call, they will look absolutely as an individual, but they are somebody else behind the screen, right? How do you protect yourself from all this? As Eventus, we have seen n number of attacks happening. Today, 0 day is something we talk almost every single day, right? A lot of organizations are seeing that 0 day attacks, ransomware as a service attack is becoming talk of the daily conversation. You can go on the dark web, you can see, you can purchase a ransomware as a service. You pay X number of money, you get to download a product which you can install as a ransomware product on your competitor or as an attacker. So it's become an industry in itself, right? We need to ensure that we are up to speed as far as this industry is concerned. Now, what does the complexity bring along with it? The complexity, the advancement, the ever increasing number of attacks brings a humongous amount of volume of data, information, telemetry, signals, logs. You talk about it, everything is increasing. We're talking about 10 to 15,000 alerts a day received by SOC globally. And you know what's the surprising part? 70% of them are uninvestigated. They may be a P3, P4. But how do you know that the P3 today may not be a P2 tomorrow, right? You need to have that kind of intelligence that you can predict that today's P3 can be a P2 or a P1 tomorrow, right? Alert fatigue is another problem. Looking at the ever increasing landscape, everybody wants logs to come from endpoint, servers. You're looking at logs coming from firewall. We have people talking about logs coming from OT devices. So your landscape is ever increasing. Why? You don't want to leave any single loophole in your ecosystem where an attacker can get entry and then cause collateral damage, right? So you want to protect everything, but does that come so easily? Definitely no. The more you expand your visibility, the more intelligence you need to take care of the overload of information that is sent across to the SOC, right? Now, how do you do that? If you see something in common, we have seen attackers today, they are very intelligent. They will target a particular industry and they know where maximum damage can happen. Globally, some of the industries that are attacked are BFSI, you will see the pharma industry, the manufacturing industry, and the surprising fact is in the healthcare or pharma, the average cost for a per minute downtime is close to $9,000. This is something that is definitely not something anybody would want to go through, right? You all must be aware that when we had the Operation Sindoor, as a country, we were attacked by our neighbors, right? Majority of the neighboring countries, they were on cyber warfare today. So we are not talking about just an army standing at the border. We have an entire team who's sitting behind a computer or a laptop and trying to cause damage to an electronic ecosystem of a country, right? You must have heard of recent attacks in Salesforce, Jaguar Land Rover, Snowflake has been compromised. These are day-to-day stories we are talking about. Do you think we can sit quiet and just wait for a day when a catastrophe occurs? Definitely not. So what do? You move and you shift your thought process from a reactive to a proactive approach, right? What you basically want is that either you as an organization or the partner or the vendor you choose is no longer depending on a legacy type of thought process. When I say legacy, what I mean is SOC is waiting to react on a particular alert, and then you go on and then you do IR, etc., and all that stuff. That is not going to work today. Attackers are far smarter. By the time you even plan to go ahead and investigate what has happened, the damage is already done. So what do? You need intelligence. If an attacker is using AI, why don't you use AI? Because you ultimately have to be one step ahead of the attacker, right? That's what the market is wanting today. How do you do that? You do that by ensuring that proactive intelligence, proactive measures, resilience in the overall process is a daily thing to do. You cannot expect one day something will happen and then you go through the entire process as such. You want somebody, either a process or a technology or a person, when we talk about people, to ensure that they proactively protect you and damage never happens, right? 82% of the enterprise admit that they are still reactive. So where we see attackers going far ahead with AI, 82% of the industry is still using the old school way of protecting themselves. Trust me, out of experience, this is not going to work. As Eventus, we know this is not going to work. And that's the reason why we are here to, kind of give you a insight into what we do. How many of you agree that a cyber security process is not something you can manage in-house completely? I just want you to raise your hands. Absolutely. I appreciate that thought and I second to your thought. There is a reason as to why. You cannot have everything on planet Earth in your organization. You need to go to an expert. There is a need of the hour that you trust a partner who you know is far more experienced and is going through cybersecurity incident information, how to ensure that you're protected day in and out every minute of the hour, 365 days a year, 24/7, right? You cannot have that kind of expertise at home. When I talk about at home, what I mean is in your organization. What is needed to ensure that your partner is providing the best service that they possibly can? There's a huge gap of, I would say, skills. The partner has to ensure that they refill the skill gap, right, to ensure that the skill set is appropriate. Rough estimates say that there is a skill gap in India of up to 1.5 million resources, right? So MSSP partner has to collaborate with an education institute where the next generation that comes in is already aware of what cybersecurity is, right? This will reduce the hiring to onboarding time, right? Cost and complexity is a big problem in organizations. That cost and complexity has to be outsourced. You cannot maintain that within an organization. 69% of the enterprise today, as we speak, have already thought and partnered with an MSSP to outsource their risk to the partner. The ultimate goal is the MSSP partner has to be 24/7, have a resilient approach, and should not depend on old school methods of protecting you, right? Because ultimately, when you outsource your risks to a partner is when you get a good night's sleep. You have that trust, a relationship with the partner that you trust will be there to ensure that you're protected day in and day out. At Eventus, we are predictive by design, right? And we are proactive by nature. We've been trusted by global partners. We have our, customers all across the globe. We call our customers our partner because vice versa. It's not a one-way street. It's a partnership both ways, right? We have our global SOC operations where we are spread across India, Southeast Asia, Middle East, and USA. We have our primary SOC center here in India, in Ahmedabad and Mumbai. And we have a primary SOC center in Middle East because that's the requirement there as far as the country protocols are concerned in Saudi Arabia. Soon, by the mid of next year, we are expecting, if the business ask is appropriate, we'll have a SOC center in the US. Secondly, SOC is not something we just want to provide you as a service. We want to build an entire platform. So we focused on an AI-driven platform. This AI-driven platform will ensure and enable us to provide better services to you. We don't want Eventus to be called as a product company. We want to be called as a platform-approached company, right? And that's where our entire focus is. Do you think it's easy to achieve being a trusted partner? Definitely not. Some of the figures that you see on the screen is the hard work that goes behind ensuring that we are there for you whenever the need arises. I'm very proud to tell you that we have over 40 people for our in-house threat intelligence team. We have successfully onboarded more than 70 plus customers onto our SOC. We have over 100 customers on cyber resilience that have gone through the cyber resilience services. All our resources, we being a tech company, are certified, and all the 150 plus resources that we have in SOC are compulsorily certified. We don't hire until and unless the person is certified, right? Certification ensures and gives us that trust that this individual is ultimately going to be the person to ensure that our customers' security landscape is taken care of. This idea of building Eventus started in 2017, where we sat on the table and decided that we want to cater to this industry called cybersecurity. And as we learned from the market, the feedback that we got, we wanted to bridge a gap. The gap was we didn't want to be a service provider where we outsource the product, we shake hands with an OEM, and ultimately, if there is any customer feedback, that feedback is given to the OEM, and you all are aware it would take ages to get that feedback implemented. We wanted to bridge that gap. What we did is we built a platform where the product and the service is in our control. Now, how is that achieved? We hired almost 250 plus cybersecurity resources to ensure that we are sustaining. In terms of our enterprise customers, we have globally over 300 customers who trust us. And the best part is we are growing 100% year on year. That clearly shows that we are in the right direction, right? Our thought process is very clear. What are some of the offerings that we offer? I'll of course go in detail, but SOC as a service, MXDR, red teaming, incident response, PTAS, etc. are some of the services that we offer to our customers. Our vision is to be a truly trusted global leader in cybersecurity for our customers, right? This is our global presence, what you see on your screen. Our customers, SOC team, and our data centers are appropriately highlighted. This is our global visibility. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to present to you Eventus platform, something that I'm sure all of you are wondering what it's all about. At the core, we wanted to be sure that we protect everything in your IT landscape. So what you see at your bottom, right from the network to the application, everything is taken care of as far as visibility is concerned. We ingest telemetry logs from these vectors ingested into our platform, where we have our own secure data lake, right? The security data lake ensures that whatever logs come in, we also have our own artificial intelligence LLM. We try to understand the logs and try to create a correlation as far as the information that is received. Many customers want our platform to be multi-tenant, so we did it. Contextual correlation is a challenge in the market. That is, multiple vectors are giving you the same information. How do you join the dots? That is already taken care in the platform. So if there is a information coming from an endpoint, information coming from endpoint 2, endpoint 3, saying that we notice encryption, we know it's a ransomware attack, and we alert you. And if possible, we also suggest what is the isolation process. We enable you to isolate the vector. Now, nothing is possible if we don't have a threat intelligence team. We didn't want to depend on a third party, so we have an in-house threat intelligence team. Roughly about 40 people are there on the threat intelligence team that enable us and our customers to ensure that we are up to speed as far as threat intelligence service is concerned. We have subscription all around the globe. The subscription takes care of whether it's a paid feed or an open source feed in order to enable that the threat intelligence team will do their self-investigation and then inform to the customer. So it's not just a copy-paste thing, right? We go through the information, we digest it, and then we share it with our customers. One of the most lacking features in any platform was a SOAR platform, right? We build the SOAR inbuilt, right? It's there into the platform. Now, all that this does is provide the services that you see on the top. SOC as a service, data forensic, BAS, threat intelligence, vulnerability management, red teaming. These are some of the services that we provide. Now, here is the feedback that we got from the market, right? And the feedback is, All these services are on separate platforms. We didn't want that. So we built all this on a single pane of glass visibility. All these services are available on a single platform so that your experience as a customer remains the same, constant throughout. What you get as a byproduct of all this is you have better compliance. There is a centralized dashboard. You have low MTTR, MTTD. Your security risk is already managed, and you can always stay in check as far as a health check is concerned. So this is a new approach that we've taken in the market. This was something that we thought about, and so far we've been successful. And I'm sure all of you should place a thought as far as the generic engagement of security is concerned. Whether you want to depend on partner X who's depending on OEM Y in order to provide service to you. A little technical details. Now, how do we ingest information? On your left, you see you have cloud and on-premise. Now, today, if I say that I'm not going to serve your cloud or I'm not going to serve your on-premise, it's not going to make sense. So what do? I cater to each and every vector that is available in your environment. On the cloud, we ingest information via the API, and on the on-premise, we have a logger. All we need to ask is a virtual machine or a server. We kind of set up the logger, and the logger will send information and telemetry data and logs to the platform. Our platform is built on Oracle Cloud, which is hosted in Mumbai, and we ensure that we take care of data sovereignty. So all the information that we ingest on the SaaS platform stays in the country, doesn't move out, right? Now, as you can see, the process is logs are ingested, okay? Then there is enrichment and analysis where parsing is a mandatory step. Without parsing and normalization, the logs would not make any sense. So we have a team that does the enrichment, correlation and parsing in order to ensure that whatever meaningful information can be extracted from a log is extracted, which is moved on to the pipeline. The pipeline stores the information into a data store, which ultimately turns metrics into the dashboard that you get to see. So this is nothing but the background intelligence that I wanted to showcase to you. Let's come to managed security services, a part of our services. We have SOC as a service, which I told you. Now, what do we have in SOC as a service? We have a next generation SOC platform. We have a managed XDR, incident response and forensic investigation as part of the service. We have cyber resilience services where we do red teaming, application security, penetration testing as a service, etc. We have a cyber threat intelligence team that will do strategic, operational, tactical intelligence, and we also provide dark web monitoring, where we ensure that if there is any information as far as your organization is concerned lingering around in the dark web, we can bring it down. We have takedown services as well, or we can at least ensure that we let you know where your information is leaked. I'll dive a little deeper into the SOC service. I'm sure all of you are aware of the processes, but these are some of the standard processes that we follow. When we onboard a customer, we have an onboarding team that will engage with the customer. The handshake happens between the SOC team and the onboarding team. Once the onboarding is done, then the handover is happening to the SOC operations team. Now, there is a slight difference in how we approach this. We don't wait for the onboarding team to onboard all your devices and take month 2 or 3. As and when the devices are onboarding, the SOC team will start monitoring. Right? That is what distinguishes us in order to ensure that there is zero tolerance of delay between either a previous SOC vendor to us, or if a customer is trusting us, we start monitoring from day one. Our customer experience and SOC excellence teams, they ensure that our customers are engaged. We have a weekly, monthly meeting with them. We share the reports with them. And our SOC excellence team ensures that our SOC is working at its optimum. If there are any gaps, any certifications that need to be done, they ensure that everything is taken care of. All these are definitely something that need to be, kind of monitored, right? And ensure that our resources are up to speed as far as certifications are concerned. So our L&D team and our risk and compliance team will do the checks in place to ensure that what we promise as far as the service is concerned, what we promise as far as the overall skill set is concerned, we live up to that. Some of the cyber resilience services, what I spoke to you earlier was SOC. This is about cyber resilience service. We have breach attack simulation where we do ransomware simulation, we do security control validation, we do SOC effectiveness. This is the proactive approach that I was talking about, right? We do red teaming. In red teaming, we have black box, assume breach assessment and goal-based assessment. We do PTAS where we have application infra and cloud security. We do incident response where we do predictive, proactive and reactive incident response. All these are some of the services that give us a broader umbrella to cater to our customers. These are our IR and digital forensic services. We do host forensic, network and malware forensic, which is a reactive approach. We do incident response, incident investigation and assessment readiness, which is a proactive approach. And as far as proactive assessments are concerned, we do digital forensic, compromise assessment and threat hunting. This we call as predictive approach. How do we deliver? We have a threat intelligence team, roughly about 40 to 45 members. As I mentioned earlier, this threat intelligence team will do threat investigation, collect feeds from paid and open source sources. We will ensure that we go through this manually, read it, understand whether it's a false positive or actually something that has occurred, how valuable it is to the customer, and then we create an advisory and share that to our customers. We want to ensure that when our customers goes through the advisory, there is meaningful information, right? We don't want to just send out information which is of no use to the customer, right? This is a snippet of our advisories and how do they look and feel, right? So as you see, we are giving you a complete tactic as far as the MITRE tactic is concerned. We give you information about the monthly threat and security advisories that we have shared. You can see that on our website in real time, and every SOC customer of ours gets the threat advisory via email every day. Awards and accreditations, a very important part, ladies and gentlemen. Without awards and accreditation, you're not recognized. I'm very proud to share that we are at number 82 amongst the top 50 MSSPs globally. In 2023, the ranking was roughly about 120. In 24, we are 82, and I'm strongly of the belief that by the end of this year, when we participate again, we should come anywhere close to 50. So that talks a lot about how we are progressing globally as an organization. And trust me, these accolades and accreditations don't come easily. There's a lot of research that goes in the background in order to give you that badge. Customer appreciation, very important part. Of course, everybody gives us feedback where we need to improve. But what motivates us is the appreciation that comes from our customers. A few snippets for you on the screen. Some testimonials where customers have happily gone ahead and praised us. Who trust us, some of the brands that we do business with, and who ensure that we are taking care of their security so that they can sleep well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
Staying one step ahead of cyber adversaries is critical. Introducing Eventus Platform, a state-of-the-art security operations platform built to secure your entire digital infrastructure. Eventus Platform integrates next-generation data aggregation, real-time analysis, and comprehensive visibility, empowering you to proactively detect, respond to, and mitigate cyber risks across your entire environment. At At the heart of our platform is a unified data lake, continuously ingesting data from networks, endpoints, cloud, identity, email, and applications, ensuring no threat goes undetected. Eventus platform processes massive volumes of logs in near real time, normalizing disparate data into actionable insights. Powered by advanced AI, our platform evolves dynamically, adapting to emerging log formats and data types as new threats surface. With dual-level multi-tenancy, the platform enables secure and efficient management of both enterprise-level partners and individual customer environments within the same platform, ensuring granular control of security policy and governance for each tenant. Our next-gen detection engine uses sophisticated aggregation, correlation, and cross-correlation techniques to uncover even the most subtle attack patterns. Our unique contextual correlation model tailors detection to your environment, prioritizing alerts based on their critical assets and threat context. With agentized RAG-based threat intelligence engine, our platform continuously scans for vulnerabilities and malicious activity across your network. It uses real-time data and relationship mapping to detect threats before they escalate. Fully integrated with SOAR capability, Eventus platform enhances the effectiveness of SOC by automating repetitive tasks, speeding up response times, and providing a single pane of glass for real-time incident management. AI-powered Eventus Threat Labs, which automatically generate and refine detection rules and decoders, ensuring your defenses stay ahead of emerging attack techniques with minimal manual intervention. Eventus Threat Advisory categorizes raw data by industry and customer type. It helps security teams to take immediate action against newly identified risks, keeping your environment protected. Eventus platform provides you with a centralized dashboard, contextual alerts, customized reporting, and health checks. From advanced detection to intelligent response and proactive defense, our AI-augmented Eventus platform ensures your organization stays one step ahead of attackers. Stay ahead of the curve with Eventus Security. Visit us today